Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about the difference between soft and hard brewing and how this will affect your cup of tea. Now before I begin, if you haven't been here in New Braunfels, Texas, we are in Green, Texas, which is the little tourist spot outside of New Braunfels, Texas, halfway between San Antonio and Austin. Come visit us. Also, please subscribe and hit the notification bell right now if you haven't done so already, and post a comment. So infusion. Infusion is how long you put your leaves in hot water. And infusion is important. We have a couple episodes here called the Infusion Wars. We have a monthly tea education class that we do here at the Tea House, and we did one on infusion rates and how long you should do each of the 6 categories of tea and the pros and cons of doing them at different times and whatnot. So infusion is exceedingly important when it comes to tea. With coffee, it is important, but most of the time with coffee, people just go to a coffee shop, or when they drink it, they don't even think about it because a lot of that is done for you. But since there's such a range of taste because of the processing between the 6 categories of tea, and if you throw in tisanes as well, it's really important that you understand the nuances of infusion. And I think growing up in America, a lot of Americans never really thought about it. You just throw a tea bag in and then pour boiling water, and then whenever you feel like taking it out, you take it out and you drink it. But there is a lot of subtlety when it comes to tea. So the fundamental difference between soft and hard brewing is that, as the name would suggest, soft brewing is going to lead to a tea that is more delicate. Hard brewing is going to lead to something that's going to be more robust. And based on the category of tea that you're looking at, I think that some categories might be better at hard brewing or soft, but also you have to look at yourself. Some people just like one more than the other. So in general, soft brewing is this. It's going to be short infusion times, lower temperature, short and low. Hard brewing is going to be longer infusion times or steeping times and hotter temperatures. So what are you really going to get out of each of these? For example, I'm drinking Gyokuro. Gyokuro is shaded Japanese green tea. I apologize for my daughter who's sneezing. It's a high-end Japanese green tea that's shaded for 3 weeks to increase the chlorophyll, the sweetness, and whatnot. Gyokuro is phenomenally sensitive tea. So you would do soft brewing with Gyokuro, meaning infusion rates of even as short as 60 seconds to get that light touch. If you oversteep or use too hot of a temperature on something like Gyokuro or all the greens, it's going to lead to bitterness. So in each tea category, and within each tea category, there's going to be certain teas that are optimized for soft brewing or for hard brewing. So in general though, with soft brewing, what are you going to get? You're going to get the aroma and taste are going to be kind of like high, bright, delicate. Low bitterness, because remember, bitterness is based on how long and how hot you steep. So if you're going short infusions and lower temperature, you're going to get less bitterness. And it's going to be just kind of a light physicality, a light liquor than it normally would be because you're infusing it shorter. One of the benefits of soft brewing is you can reinfuse those leaves longer because you're doing, remember, shorter infusion rates. On the opposite side of the spectrum, hard brewing, which is going to be a hotter temperature and longer infusion rates, you're going to get a deeper, stronger aroma and taste, but you're also going to get high bitterness. Some people like high bitterness, especially in the blacks and the pu'er, but you're going to get high bitterness, and it's going to be drier. It's going to be longer and stronger on the aftertaste, whereas soft brewing won't be. Kind of like licorice root, if you ever had licorice root, the tisane there, that's going to really linger in your tongue. And then the physicality on hard brewing is going to be strong. So what would I say? Gyokuro needs to be brewed about 160, 170, so when I'm drinking, I have to drink it pretty fast because it's going to get room temperature really fast. Greens, whites, yellows, the majority of oolongs, I would say you're going to go soft brewing. It's better to go short, 2-minute infusions on these at the appropriate temperature. Again, within each category, the temperatures will be different, but greens, I would say a good ballpark for the majority of greens is about 170. For whites, I'd say about 190. Yellows, about 170 to 190. Lightly oxidized oolongs, about 180 to 190. I would do them around that temperature, and then short infusions. Reuse those leaves, of course, within 6 hours. That's what I would recommend. Then when it comes to the black teas, the majority of black teas, pu'er and tisanes, I would do the opposite. I would go hard brewing because in particular with the tisanes, if you look at like cinnamon bark and licorice root and echinacea, a lot of these need really long infusions to extract out not just the taste, but the medicinal benefits of these things. So you really got to soak them longer and hotter to extract them out. So in general, there are going to be some exceptions. I would say chamomile would be a better as a soft brew, lighter, shorter, especially lighter on the temperature, but you can do a little longer on the duration. But as a whole, I would say the majority of tisanes, you should do hard brewing. When it comes to pu'er, I would say as a whole, and we're talking about pu'er, we're not talking about raw pu'er, we're talking about ripe pu'er. I would say as a whole, hard brewing is okay. It's better because you're going to get more of that robust earthiness, and it's going to be a deeper, stronger taste. And one of the reasons we love ripe pu'er is because it's so deep and earthy and liquid dirt-esque. I'd say the middle category, or the one that probably has the most controversy, would be blacks. Because you do have light blacks, something like the Darjeelings. And then the majority of blacks, you look at the chais and Lapsang Sai Chongs and all these Earl Grey, whatever, English breakfast blends, those are going to be stronger blacks that mostly come from Assam, let's say, from India. The Camellia sinensis Assamica. I would tell you with these, it's really up to you. If I'm doing a light black like a Darjeeling, I'm going to go soft brewing. Again, shorter durations, lower temperature, maybe a 190, maybe 3 minutes. If I'm doing the other blacks, I'd say it's okay to hard brew 5-minute durations at 200 degrees to 210. Because with the blacks, since they're 100% oxidized, you're really trying to unleash the theoflavonoids, which give it that really robust taste that you can, if you want, milk and sugar. They also give you the theorubigens, which give it that red color that's really great. Remember, black teas are called red tea in China because the liquor is red. So it's really kind of in the black category. I'd say that's really the controversial one. Personally, what I do every day is I soft brew everything. I don't drink blacks that often, and when it is, it's First Flush, Second Flush, Darjeeling, and sometimes the Lapsang Sai Chong. But in general, I veer toward lighting. And if you ever come to the tea store, you'll see that, if it's busy, I'm walking around and I'm pouring my kyushu onto my teacup. And sometimes I'll forget. So I'll infuse, I'll put my hot water in my kyushu, and then somebody comes in or I'm talking, and then I go back to them like, oh God, there was a yellow tea in there for 6 minutes. And I'm just like, I'm just waiting to drink that because I won't throw it out. And I'm like, or if it's a green. So, but in general, like if it's slow or if I'm at home, I go soft brewing. So in closing, soft brewing is what I personally would recommend for the majority of the categories of teas, aside from tisanes. Soft brewing are going to be cooler temperatures, shorter infusions. Hard brewing is going to be hotter temperatures and longer brewing. You're going to get a stronger taste, but you're probably going to get a little more bitterness. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless.